I bought one of these little skid steers. It is an AGT. I don't know what the model is. It's a MX-MRT14. So I'm getting ready to change the oil in it. I've got 7 hours on it display. It's got a temperature gauge for the hydraulics. It's got a stop button. It's also got an hour meter, little horn, little fan, and the headlights. It's also got like USB and a 12-volt socket. Key. This is your choke. And this is your choke right here. It doesn't go all the way back. I might have to adjust that, but it's been running fine. This is your throttle. Fuel tank, air filter, and 420, 15 horsepower. It's a knockoff of a Briggs. So I'm getting ready to change the oil. So I have this little like antifreeze that I've cut out, and the oil drain is over here, and there's another oil drain back in there on the side. That's a little harder to get to. You got a little bit more room here. So what I did was I got me some duct tape, and I built like a little wall, about 5 or 6 strips, just to kind of, because the drain's right here, it's going to come down and then into my pan, because there's not really a good way to drain it. And so like I said, I've got about 7 hours on this thing. It runs really well. It's slow, just like my excavator. I actually bought it off the same guy that I got my excavator from. He had one, and this is the one he had. It had 0.2 hours on it when I first bought it. So I've used it a little bit. I've just basically run around the yard, spreading some dirt and smoothing it out with the bucket. That's all I've really done. I haven't really lifted anything heavy with it or anything. So I'm getting ready to change the oil on it. So I'm hoping that when I let this go, my little wall here will let it drain. Try to leave that bolt in so it'll start dribbling out, but I've got it at an angle to try to let the oil drain to the back. There it goes. And it's not all. There we go. So as you see, my little channel is doing pretty good. Not the greatest. Oil doesn't look bad. I'm not sure how much this holds, but there is a drain hole in the bottom. And the chassis, there's a hole right here. So what I'm going to do is to get this thing out, because I had to wedge this plastic container in, had to wedge it in. There's a drain hole, so what I'm going to do is reach up and undo the cap and drain that oil out into another little pan, so I can get all the oil. Now I won't get all the oil out because it's at an angle, but at least it'll have fresh oil, better oil, name brand oil. I don't know what kind of oil this is, but it actually looks pretty good. But that's one of the first things you want to do when you get one of these is, you know, run it a little bit, get it warm, and then change the oil on it. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to let this drain in here. It's almost done. I'm just going to let it drain. Like I said, I'm not getting all the oil out of it because of the way the engine's angled, but it's the only way I could really get the oil to come out. And but you know, at least it's better than nothing. So, and then I'm going to do a little greasing on this thing, and he said he greased it before I got it, which has been a couple of days. But yeah, I'm going to just get this drained out. Okay, letting that drain. So grease fitting here. Do not see grease fitting on here or under here. There is a grease fitting, one of those cone grease fittings there. Another one of those cone grease fittings under the bucket grease fitting here. So there's 1, 2 on the sides. And then you've got the cylinder, the bucket cylinder. It's got 2 on it. Grease fitting there. Grease fitting here. I do not see a grease fitting on any of these. It looks like it's got a provision for something under there, but I can't see. The sun's right in my face. That may be a grease fitting there, but on this back cylinder I have felt around and I don't feel any divots or anything in that. So I don't know if there is a grease fitting on in this up to bring the bar up cylinder. This is the front. This is the front of the little excavator. It's got a cooler for the hydraulic fluid. It just hinges up. And excuse me, there's the tank, battery. This has a 2-stage pump, which the Chinese excavators only have a 1. Because if you it only has, oh, put this down, keep it from slamming down. So the mini excavators has just this 1 unit, and this is your hydraulic line, and then this is going up to your steering. So this one goes up to the right steering, and this is on the left, I'm sorry. So this is your left steering, and this is your right steering. And as you can see, there's not much room in here. You got your motors for the drive wheels. Down here in the orange is the fill on both sides. That side's going to be a pain. I'll have to get a long funnel from here to get down in there to empty the oil, or to fill it up, I'm sorry. And yeah, that's about it. There's not much to this. As you can see, the hydraulic fluid goes up to the top of the radiator and then down, comes through, and then it goes back over to the right drive right there. This bottom hose right here goes around, comes from the other radiator, from the radiator here. The hydraulic fluid, that is on here. I'm going to have to figure out a way to get this off. Give me some big channel locks or something to break that loose and just check the level on it. Or maybe it's this little cap thing here. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, it's got a dipstick. See, I didn't even know that. So it's got a dipstick on it, and I'll tell you, I don't know if you can see that. The sun is glaring today. But it's got like a flat spot through here. So yeah, okay. See, I just learned something today. Well, that doesn't screw, it just sits in there. It just sits in there. Okay. Your fan, 12 volt 90 watt. It says KY 180 on it. But that's a handy little. I wish the excavators, the little mini Chinese ones, had this setup in it, but there's not room for it. But still would be nice. You've got a couple of sensors down here. I think one of them is for the temperature sensor, because it's got a temperature sensor on the gauge panel. Not sure what the other one is for. Maybe there's a cutoff if the fluid gets low. I don't know. Wiring is all over here. Pretty self-standard, I'm assuming, for the charging maybe, and the starter, and then running all the gauges. It does have a horn. But yeah, it's like I said, I haven't done a whole lot to it. I've just been spreading some dirt around, and nothing major. The lift hooks, it's got lift hooks on it. Crush hazard, hydraulic oil. It's got these little like composite to keep the bar from hitting the chassis when you lower the boom down. It does have auxiliary. I think you can use that for like the grapple bucket and maybe the little auger for drilling holes. You can put that on here. The bucket is just a standard. Excuse me. Got your pins for your releasing the bucket. I haven't took the bucket off. Like I said, I've just been spreading soft dirt. Controls. This is the left drive, forward, back, and then this is, oh, that's your bucket down, and then forward and back, and this is the curl of the bucket. This is the main arm up and down, and this is the curl, the bucket up and down. This is your third function. Don't have nothing hooked up to it. You got an emergency stop that I use to, when I get done, I just hit it, leave the key on, it kills all the power. This is your oil temp, and it's red, so it's very hard to see. Hour meter, you've got a fan light here for the fan when you got power. When you turn the key on and it's running, this green light will light up all the time till you hit. So if I turn the key on, LED comes on. Or you have the key on, see that stays on. But then you have your choke right here, choke, and right here is like a battery kill. When it's down, you can take that out and put the little cap on it. When it's down, it's off. When it's on, when it's up, it's on, turned on. Sorry, I can't talk today. It's been a long day. This is your throttle. So you have to manually, you step on it, and it has a step. I took the plate off because I wanted to get this in here. So, but yeah, like I said, it's a pretty cool little thing. It's pretty stout. It needs, like the excavator, you know, if you have one of these excavators like I have, when you start lifting, the rear end wants to come up on it. There's not enough weight on the back to lift a heavy load. Now it'll probably lift a lot, but the weight balance is thrown off. It needs about 150, 200 pounds right underneath the engine on that end to give it a little bit more stability when you're lifting heavy things. But yeah, it's a cool little thing. It's got a nice edge on the blade. It's got a nice edge, and it's also got it's not flat where you could scrape. You know, you can back drag. Bucket seems pretty good. It is a little warped right here. If you're looking at it, you can kind of see it's a little bent in. What do you expect? But for like small stuff, gravel, I did some gravel with it, some dirt with it. It does a pretty good job. I got to get used to the controls because that's the thing. Now you can lift the bucket and drive, but like your excavator, it's going to slow it down. You know, it's not going to be instant like a regular skid steer. It's slow, moving slow. It's like the excavator, the Chinese excavators, they move really, really slow. Yeah, I want to get, I didn't get a toolkit with this. He said like the excavator, I got a little toolbox. Let me see if I can find it for you. Hang on. So I got a little toolbox with my excavator. Toolbox here. And I've, added wrenches and some other things. And this is the extension hose I bought for my excavator. But the only way I can get that on there is I have to raise the engine up off the mount about 1/8 of an inch, maybe 5, 7, 8 millimeters, something like that, to get it up so I can actually screw this fitting into the engine block, and then I can have the drain. So I've been meaning to do that, but I've been using it almost every other day, trying to finish up before winter hits. But it had like a little booklets and about the engine, and it's got wet. Left it out when it rained. But a little mini grease gun, but it's got the little cone fittings and grease, and it had a wrench or two that none of them, the wrenches that they throw in these little kits don't fit anything on the excavator. That's what I've run into. So I've just bought me like this. So this is a Walmart brand 12 inch. This fits pretty much all the bolts on the excavator. So I have two of these. The other one's in the house, but I have two of these, and I keep it in this little toolbox. So that way, for this and my excavator, I'll keep all that stuff in there, the fittings, the grease fittings, because I have the regular Zerk fittings here, and in this, and I have an actual one for my grease gun, and I also have these cone style. And actually, you know, people are saying replace the cone style grease fittings. I think they work pretty well. You just stick it in there and get it centered and start putting grease in it. You have to hold it, of course. It's not like the where you clip it on and you don't have to hold it. Yeah, they work all right. I mean, I haven't changed any of the grease fittings on my excavator, and it's got a bunch of the little cone style. So there's one here and one up here on this. So the only thing I'm going to look at, because like I said, I haven't really done much with this thing except use it for a little while, but I want to see about taking this off and this off. This is probably just the whole pin. I wish they'd put something like this in here. Sorry about the camera, but I wish they had put something like this down here and right here, so you could grease these two fittings as well as the upper arm fitting. Don't ask me why, I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty decent. Like I said, travel is very slow. It's about as fast as one of the little Chinese excavators, if you ever have one, or if you have one. They're about as fast as that travel speed, so you could actually probably trot and walk. You could probably have a limp and still beat it walking somewhere with it than this thing traveling. So yeah, I mean, sorry about my camera work. It's just been a long day so far. I'm just trying to get the oil changed, and I'm going to get these grease fittings greased up, and the track adjuster is running here. It's basically the same style as the excavator here. So let's see if I can get down here. You see, you have a bolt that runs across to the tension wheel here, and then on here you have like a socket. I can't remember what it is, and then you have this bolt. So you break this bolt loose and you turn it. If the track ever comes off, you have to take this bolt a lot of the way back, this nut and everything, to get the wheel back on, because I've had the excavator track come off a bunch of times when I'm in gravel, especially gravel. It comes off in the gravel, it gets rocks into here, and because it just like skids, you know, skids in the gravel. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know what the length of this track is. I have no idea. I've looked at my other one, but I haven't used it on any hard surface. It's all been on the grass and the gravel, so it's not like it's going to wear out anytime soon on dirt. But if I rode it on concrete or asphalt or whatever, I'm sure it would wear that track out and have to replace it. But this, it's got little holes for the cog gear for the drive wheel. Mine has gotten a bunch of these, you know, popping out, so you can always see down in there, which is not a big deal because the sprocket actually digs into it. But yeah, I mean, not bad. The only thing I want to do is figure out these lift cylinders for the arm. Try to get some grease or something in there. What I might do is just take this loose and see if I can drop it down and see if I can get my hands around, because that feels like it, something in there. It feels, but I can't see what it is. I'd have to get it up in the air. So maybe when I put oil in, I'll raise it all the way up and see if I can see that, and then put some grease in that bucket cylinder here. But yeah, I mean, it's not bad, little machine. Like I said, travel is slow. I figured it would be a little bit faster than the excavator, but it's not. It's about the same speed. So yeah, and now one thing I've noticed, and I've had a hard time trying to figure something out with this thing, is fueling. When you're fueling, you see you've got this right here. You can't get a funnel down in there. Oh, and you gotta get a funnel or something to fill it up. So to get if you have a long spout on your gas can, which I kind of halfway do. So basically I just put the funnel like that, or the spout for the gas can, and just hold the gas can up and just pour it in. I mean, where my excavator, it's down low, I can get a funnel down in there and fill it up with fuel, no problem. This is just a little bit more, especially when it's on the ground, you don't have much clearance. And I thought maybe if there was some way up here, you know, maybe take this bar, because it has a couple of screws on it. This probably comes off fairly easy, except for the choke. Or I wish it had like a hole so you could actually put like a long funnel down through there. You know, a big hole right here. Stick your funnel down. It's one of them skinny, like this. One of these skinny funnels. Like you could stick it down there and fill it up easier than having to hold the thing. You're like this, squatting down, holding the gas can in there to fill this up. And this is probably 2 gallons. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, it's a pretty cool little thing. I haven't lifted a whole lot of stuff. I've just been scoop up dirt, dump it, take the blade and back scrape it and level it out and run it over a few times. But yeah, I just want to figure out these grease fittings on there and put some oil in this thing. Air filter has got a let me just show you what the air filter looks like. So it's got one of the foam around the come on. See, it's got the foam around the filter itself. The filter looks really good and clean. Should be, it's brand new. So that's a little pain in the butt to get on. There we go. So yeah, there we go. It's just 15 horse, single cylinder, kind of like a Briggs or a Honda, whatever. 420. I think they clone like the Honda engines in it, and it's got plenty of power. I mean, I haven't lifted a heavy load, but I did lift a big load of gravel, a big bucket full of gravel on it, and it was like kind of rocking a little bit. But other than that, like I said, it needs about 150 pounds on the rear end where the motor is, or the engine, just to kind of, you know, offset some of the off balance. But yeah, I like it. I wish it was faster. Wish you could get it to go to about like maybe 6 miles an hour, which would be perfect for like long, you know, like a regular skid steer will go about 5 or 6 miles an hour. Enough speed to kind of where you can really run over things and smooth it out, like back dragging on the bucket, or even just digging in, smoothing it out. I think they go 5 or 6. Anyway, but yeah, that's my little look at this thing. I'll get the oil changed, finish greasing this up, and then see what I can figure out with those cylinders there. I'll probably have to raise it all the way up in the air. And it goes pretty high. It goes probably 7-8 feet, maybe a little more than that. It almost goes straight up. I'll have to, when I get the oil change and get it running again, I'll raise the bucket all the way up, and you can see how tall it is and that kind of thing. So, but yeah, it's pretty decent. I was expecting a little more travel speed, to be honest with you. That's the only downside with this and my other excavator, is the travel speed is so slow. I mean, you could, like I said, if you have a limp, you could walk faster than it. And but yeah, this is, like I said, this is gas. It's not diesel. I don't know if they make them diesels of these skid steers. They may. I haven't looked. I just happened to be looking on Marketplace, and that guy that I bought the excavator had 2 of these listed. So I texted him and asked him. I said, "Do you still have any of those skid steers left?" And he said, "I've got one." So I sent him $200 to deposit to hold it. So he did. And then I was out of town, so a couple of weeks later, I gave him a check with the rest of the money, and it was $4,000 for everything. $4,000. So I sent him a check for $3,800 when I picked it up, and yeah, so I got a deal on this one compared to my excavator, which was $4,500. But it's the first time, and he said he gave me a discount because I've already picked up one piece of equipment from him. So yeah, I mean, I've got some. I was looking at one of the buckets, the grappler bucket for this. My Lord, they're expensive. The cheapest I've seen was like $1,200. And that's why I'd really like to have this bucket and the grapple bucket for just like picking logs up, or, you know, brush or anything. But yeah, it's $1,600. That's a lot for just a little thing. I thought they'd be a little smaller, cheaper, kind of like your the Chinese excavators. The buckets on them are, you know, fairly cheap. Like I bought that silting bucket with the slots in the back for like sifting dirt and stuff out. I got that for $140 shipped, and that was fairly cheap, I thought. But to do anything with this bucket and using the third functions on it, it's a little bit more expensive, which I was surprised. So, but anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna. That's anything else you want to know about it. That's about all I got. I don't want to keep rambling on because I talk too much as it is. But yeah, I'll get the oil changed and grease this up, and then try to figure out something for these lift cylinders. If there's anything on there, I probably have to raise it all the way up and see. But yeah, it's got little lights on it, little LEDs. It's nothing special. But yeah. So let me know what y'all think. Little AGT. I don't know if you can see all of that. Maybe a glare. Maybe you can see it. But that's the AGT, and there's probably the serial number for excuse me. Serial number 222. Yeah. Pretty cool little machine. I wish this had like an automatic fan sensor on it, but it's just a 2-wire fan, so it's a switch. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Alright, so I got the oil changed, and as you can see, the bucket goes pretty high. I'm 5'6", so that's the top of my finger. Right there. So it's probably 6.5 something. I was able to get grease in there and there. These pins back here, and this, that looks like a regular, it's got paint on it, so that looks like a cone, one of those cone shaped. So I'm going to do that, and then I swear I don't feel nothing on this end, but there is right here. So maybe they do more swiveling here than they do down there. And I did spill some oil. I had to take this off. If you get one of these, get you one of those little flexible funnels so you can fill the oil back up, because I didn't have one. I just had a straight one, and I had to take this panel off just to get the oil in there. So I filled it up till it was running out, cleaned it up, spilled a little bit on the track, not a big deal. But yeah, it goes up there pretty good. So I'm going to grease these two fittings here, and then I'm going to call it done. So, and then I'll bring it back in just a second. When I'm bringing it back to the back, I'll bring it back. And I took this off just so I could get, in there a little bit better. And I had to cut out, show you this. I cut out this 5-gallon jug, and as you can see, it is a little metallic-y, but it is new. And you know how new engines are, so a little metallic-y there, but not a big deal. I will check it after I get another oil change into it. I'm probably going to change it because wintertime's setting in, so I'll probably change it one more time, maybe in the spring. Depends on how much I use it. I may not use it that much going forward. So let's see, 7.2, and then there's, oh, that's hard to see, but it says 5 degrees Celsius right now. So yeah. But yeah, pretty tall. Don't know if you could hear me earlier, but yeah, I'm 5'6", and that's my fingertips all the way up. So it goes up pretty good little clip. So I'm going to grease these fittings here, and these two right here, and then take it on back and do some dirt with it. So I'll bring it back in just a second. Okay, well, everything took grease, except those bottom. This took grease. This took grease. Everything took grease. The only thing you might want to do is when you take the bucket off, make sure you grease down in here. I don't think there's a grease fitting on it, but just rub some grease and move them back and forth, because they like to get stuck. See how they do? Just kind of rub some grease down in there, and just to keep them from getting stuck in the bore on both of them. I'll do that later. But yeah, it took about a quart and a half, I would say. It was hard to judge, because I had to take the side panel off and use a funnel, and I was just pouring it in a little bit at a time. So about a quart and a half or so. I just filled it, kept going till it started running out, and then I put the cap on it. That's all you have to do with these. They don't have a dipstick, they don't have a filter. Just fill it till it starts running out, put the cap on it, and be good. So yeah, everything else, if you have any questions about anything, I put this back on. So basically this lifts up and this locks down like that, just to keep it, I guess, out of the way so you don't hit your shins on it. This key is removable for the lock. I usually just leave it in there because nobody's going to be back here messing. Leave that off, yeah, change the oil when you first get it. Get a couple hours on it, get it hot, drain it, grease all your fittings. And I've seen a couple other videos that people had these. Let me where this is coming off. And like I said, I've got 7 hours on this thing, and I've only used it, and I don't know why it's splitting here, because when I'm using this, my hands is like in the middle, you know, doing this number. So it's not like I'm hitting the corners or resting my hand on the corners. My hands are usually like this, just right here in the middle, and I'm doing this, or when I'm driving, I'm pushing it forward, or I'm pushing it forward. You know, I'm pushing it forward if I'm doing the bucket or the arms, or if I'm coming back, I'm doing this. I'm not in this corner, so maybe this foam stuff, I don't know, maybe I'll figure something out to wrap it with something a little bit better or anything. But yeah, that's about it. Everything took grease. This was dry because I kept pumping and pumping, and finally it just popped, and then grease started coming out. So, but yeah, I don't know what you think. And here's my Miva. I've put some hours on this thing. I think I'm up to 160, 170 hours or so. The track has come off, I think, one side or the other, not sure, about 3 or 4 times because I was in gravel. I got them pretty tight now, could be a little tighter. I have got this, and I think I have this fitting, or this fitting is weeping a little bit, so I've got to get that. I've got to get it up high enough so I can get everything and grease everything. I got to grease everything. I need to change the oil, engine oil, and so I still haven't put the canopy on yet because I've just been using it, and I'm really not really needing the canopy unless it rains. These hinges, see if I've got a glare behind me, sorry. So these hinges broke. So I've got to get, both of them broke. Just one day I was pulling something out of the ground and I felt the whole seat move. And I was like, what in the world? I mean, I didn't jerk it that hard, but the brackets, these hinges broke. So when I fill it up with fuel, I have to take the whole seat off and carry it off so I can put fuel in it. This is the silting bucket that I had bought. The only thing about this is it does a great job, but if you have a lot of stones or gravel in you might want to put something on the inside to make this hole smaller. Now I bought some like shelving, but it's just the rack part, and it's smaller. So I'm going to see if I can maybe bend it in here and maybe figure out a way to just kind of like put some hooks in here and then bend it and hook it, so that way it'll stay on the inside. So when you're sifting gravel and you're shaking it, the gravel will stay and the dirt will fall through. But that's, I mean, it was just one little slab, probably about 3.5 feet. But it's got like 1/4 inch maybe, or the slats in the mesh. So I'm going to try that one day. Yeah, just to sift out some of that, because this is some of that dirt that I have been spreading, and you can kind of see there's a lot of little rocks and pebbles and stuff in here. And so I want to get this to work a little bit better. Oh, and when you're turning your mini skid steer, be careful. Don't turn too sharp because you will dig up the grass. My excavator, it does the same thing. It will dig up the grass, but I've gotten to the point of where I could just like ease one back, just instead of being forward, both of them. When I'm turning, I'll ease one side back just a little bit, and you'll feel it kind of shimmy as it's turning. That's what I do with this. Yeah, this thing is still running great. I changed the oil earlier this year. So I've maybe put 10 hours, 15 hours on it since I've changed the oil. It does still get hot. I haven't done anything else to this thing. I've just been using it. The summer was really warm. The seat would get really hot. Didn't have any fuel vapor lock or vapor lock or anything like that. Hadn't had any issues with it. So I don't know about putting a fan to blow some air. I haven't really thought about it. But this thing has been doing really well. Like I said, I've got that leak right there in the front, and then I got to find some sort of hinges for the seats. And I'm thinking about buying me a hydraulic thumb for this. They've gotten so expensive now. They were, you know, fairly cheap, you know, about $100, $150. Now they're almost 200 and 250, what I've looked at. So I'm going to just think about that. I would like to have a thumb, use this third function here and here for the other third function. I mean, for the same in and out, back and forth, whatever, third function. I do want to get these. I want to take these lines loose and re-index them up like this one instead of out. I don't know why this one's doing that. They were both up. But other than that, yeah, I have used this thing. I've used and abused it, but I keep it running clean. I cleaned it. I've washed it off already, but it's, you know, when you use it, you use it. Greased it, changed the oil in it, the seat thing, hinges, pain in the butt. But everything else, and then gravel, you know, with the track coming off, I've gotten a pro with that. I can probably do it in 20 minutes, maybe 18, putting the track back on. And then this thing, like I said, haven't used it a whole lot, just spreading. It's as slow as this thing moving, you know, tracking, going up the hill, whatever. It's slow as molasses. And yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? I don't know. Put this out and see what everybody says. The only thing I really like, both of these, I really wish both of these would have a faster tracking speed. Like a fast walk, instead of just like, this is as fast as they go. I want them to be like, you know, to where you have to take your time, especially on rough ground. So, and surprisingly, both of these take the same key, believe it or not. They must have a discount on the locks for these things at the starter for these. But yeah. So yeah, what do y'all think? Not bad, huh? I love my little excavator. Like I said, well, you can see I've cleaned off a lot of the, that's just brush. But as you can see, I've cleaned off all that brush and all them roots and all this stuff. I've cleaned it all off with that bad boy right there. And I wouldn't take anything for that right now because I like that thing. I do wish the track speed was faster. And the turning when you're swiveling, man, it just jerks the crap out of you. I wish that was a little easier, but I've gotten used to it. I really slow down when I'm turning. So, but yeah, I mean, what do you think? They almost match. If my Husqvarna mower was yellow, I could park all three of them here and they'd all like the one kit kind of thing. So, but yeah. All right then, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you got any criticisms or concerns or questions or anything, just let me know. I'll try to answer them. I travel a lot for my work. A lot of times I'm out of town. I'm not in a good spot to video. Weekends is about only time sometimes I'm home, sometimes I'm gone for 2 or 3 months and I'm not home much. So any questions, concerns or anything like that, just let me know. And hopefully I can find some that. We might dig into a video of seeing what that is. Maybe going over a little service, maybe greasing it. It doesn't need to be greased because I greased it a few months ago, but I haven't been using it in the past couple months. So anyway, I'm going to shut up now. Y'all have a good one. I hope you enjoyed, and just let me know what y'all think.